Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and to Dr. Joseph Romanar. First of all, thank you for attending the seminar today. Welcome to all of you to the seminar entitled Dominance of English Language in Digital Technology. Before I begin the session, I would love to take this opportunity to introduce the presenters and a brief explanation of the seminar. Hello, my name is Marcela Wee and I will be the first presenter. With me here is Nur Afifa as the second presenter, followed by Nur Atika as the third presenter. We will follow this order accordingly until the end of the seminar. The seminar of Dominance of English Language in Digital Technology will be divided into three parts, starting from the introduction, which consists of the definitions, followed by the body content, which includes the importance of English language, the effects of using English language, literature review from 3 different articles, and key issues from the articles. Last but not least, the conclusion of the topic. Let's start it off with the definitions or the key terms. When you saw the topics of the seminar, what comes to your mind about the word language dominance? Is it something powerful? Or something without a social status? Or maybe just another language? Now, what do you think of the word digital technology here? Is it something you are familiar with in your daily life? Or is it something very fresh and new to you? Ladies and gentlemen, these two key terms hold the core key point to this topic for today, and it is my responsibility to clear off your thoughts that you have been pondering on for a while. Right, if you look at the slide, a cursor stated that a dominance language refers to a social process where each language has its own level of importance for an individual. Travers Daller believed that language dominance has two ways of implementation, which refer to societal dominance and individual dominance. From these two views itself, we can see that language dominance occurs within individuals who acquire more than one language, which is also known as bilinguals. For bilinguals, there will always be language that is more empowering than the other language. Take an example of Malaysian ourselves. For many of us, we acquire Bahasa Melayu as our first language and we learn English language as our second language in schools. We will be able to identify which language is stronger and which one is weaker as we keep practicing it from time to time. Moving on to the definition of digital technology. Generally, digital technology can be defined as the online tools, systems, digital devices, smartphones, etc. These things are very synonym to most of us and it even has been part of our daily routine. According to Verlan, digital technology are the electronic tools, devices, or even social media that has a feature which allows to store data permanently. These days, digital technology is no longer a stranger to us as we need the technology to help us with our daily chores. For instance, our mobile phones which enable us to communicate or connect with people across the boundaries, or social media which allows us to post memories that we have taken or photographed and even stories that we can write and post on the walls. After looking at the definitions of the key terms of our main topic for today, it is very crucial for us to note the role of English language in influencing the growth of digital technology, hence the main topic entitled Dominance of English Language in Digital Technology. We would like to unravel how much English language has given an impact as the dominant language used in digital technology. Therefore, I would pass the floor now to Nurul Afifa to talk about the importance of using English as the dominant language in digital technology. Over to you, Afifa.
Hello, my name is Nurul Afifa and today I will present the importance of using English as the dominant language in digital technology. There are more than 7,100 languages in use around the world, with Chinese, Spanish, and English being the most widely spoken, with 1/4 of the globe speaking the language. English is the most widely spoken language worldwide. Despite the high placing of English, around 75% of the world's population doesn't speak a word of the language. So it might seem surprising that more than half of all the content on the internet is English. So why is it important to learn English in digital technology? First of all, a universal language. One reason for English being so dominant online is that it is regarded as a universal language, with individuals of various nationalities using it as a common language, unlike Chinese, which was rarely spoken of China until recently. English has been a widespread international language in fields like business and scientific study. This gives it a natural advantage online and explain why it's widely used and spoken. Second is a head start. Another reason for English being so common is that it had a head start when the internet was created. Developed in the UK and the US, it was only natural that much of the original content for the internet was written in English. It also helped that both of these countries were quick to get a large number of people online, ensuring that English would remain the preferred language as the internet grew in size. The third one is because it continues to change. English is a dynamic language that changes and adapts to its users. Every year, the Oxford Lexicon is supplemented with around 1,000 new and approved words. The utilization of technology, social media, and the people itself have resulted in this amazing advancement. Despite the rise of other language, English continues to be the most popular. People choose English because they want to enhance the possibilities of their work being disseminated around the world, whether it's citizen journalism in water nations or prison blogs and etc. That is why it is critical to adopt English as the dominant language in digital technologies such as the internet, because it allows you to communicate effectively while simultaneously providing you with access to a far greater range of content.
The effects of using English as the dominant language in digital technology. Digital technology is a powerful tool that can be used to support language revitalization efforts. These roles include necessary skill set and exposure to language in broader domains. In today's academic institutions and workplaces, the use of technology is an expected requirement, a necessary skill set that is favorable and is usually associated with progression and advancement. It may be common for younger generations to use technology and communicate in ways that were once non-existent. Technology may also raise the social prestige in a community such that the indigenous language or native language is worthy, able to more normal, more a part of daily life around languages of a wider communication. Technology has to be a part of language revitalization to be contemporary, dynamic, and evolving. Technology may not be the answer to save or revive endangered languages, but it can be used to facilitate the language learning process. Next, exposure to language in broader domains. The needs of indigenous or native language learners are distinct from other language learners, such that indigenous languages are rooted in specific geographic areas. For example, Maori in New Zealand, Hawaiian was spoken in Hawaii. Although these languages have intermittent speakers or scattered around the world, these languages are native to their land. In contrast, once a community no longer uses their indigenous language, the language is considered sleeping. Technology allows languages to be experienced multimodally in broad domains while permitting intermediate access to materials content in the context of home or schools or office and so forth. It makes the language and communication in the language accessible to more people. Technology allows the language to be used in more domains and to coexist with other more dominant languages. Digital technology creates environments for language learners and speakers, allows for the creation and sharing of language materials, and permits greater access to the language.
For the literature review used for studies, which is language as power of the internet, dominance of English over the local languages on the internet, the influence of technology on English language learning, and the use of technology in English language learning. First, according to Flamia and Saunders, English is not just the business language but also the internet language. In the article, Flamia and Saunders examines English dominance, position as an internet language, and considers the prospect of its prolonged dominance. English is the primary language of the internet's largest group of users and dominates web content. Due to the vast number of English-speaking users and the high percentage of English language websites, many believe English to be the internet's primary language. Flamia and Saunders also suggest in the article that the usage of English as the internet language may quietly promote some cultural practices while repressing others, which result in loss of intellectual and cultural autonomy by the less powerful. A major reason for the English language's hegemony or dominance over other languages is the internet's long history of commercial use and the economic importance of the United States as a whole. The earliest protocols devised to transfer data on the net were developed for the English alphabet, a technical explanation for the choice of English as the language of the internet. Computer languages have been heavily impacted by the native tongues of its programmers, especially since the early 20th century, when the United States and the United Kingdom led the way in computer and programming development. It's virtually entirely English speakers who have produced the internet's linguistic patterns, fundamental architecture, and greatest software. According to Flamia and Saunders, the internet's primary language was chosen because of the country's important involvement in its establishment. Pater et al. Stated that the tremendous rise in the use of digital platforms shows that more than half of digital content is available in English, making it the most popular language for web browsing and online communication. When it comes to social media, people are more likely to use English and other local languages. The influence of technology in learning is very important for students. By becoming internet users, they can have access to an almost limitless number of educational, communicational, career planning, and interpersonal tools. Internet-based education empowers students and increases their motivation as well as creates a more student-centered learning environment. Many schools and educational institutes now encourage students to use online resources to enhance learning and thinking skills and even explore different learning methods which help students in terms of their self-understanding. TextBake, for example, is a new period of English language and literature stimulated by the rapid proliferation of social contacts on the next generation. According to an article by Muhammad Reza Ahmadi, technology offers language learners an infinite number of resources. As stated in the article, Muhammad Reza underlined that teachers should encourage students to use computer technology to discover relevant activities in order to be successful in their language acquisition. He also argues that students can access relevant and timely information via computer activities. They maintain that the use of internet resources encourages students to study further. Many real materials may be made available to students via the use of technology, and this might inspire them to learn a new language. Technological advances have had a significant impact on how English is taught. It offers a plethora of options for enhancing the educational experience. In traditional classroom, lectures, explanations, and instructions are frequently delivered using a chalkboard or a whiteboard. As technology advances, these strategies must be re-evaluated. Students' comprehension, vocabulary, and grammatical structure improves when multimedia materials are used in the classroom. Students can access a wide range of resources for analyzing and interpreting language and context via print, video, and the internet. The usage of computers in the classroom indicates a meaningful learning experience that raises the stake for students to learn on their own and establish socially acceptable behaviors by using English through digital technology.
Thank you, Nurul Afifah. Now allow me to unravel the key issues from each articles mentioned earlier by Nurul Afifah and explain it accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found and referred to 3 different articles. The first one is called Language as Power on the Internet, written by Flemia and Sanders. This article talks about how English language still holds a good stance and power as the main language on the Internet. The key issues found in this article notes about how the impact of the cultural implications on the power position of English as the language of the Internet and how English language seems to continue growing as the dominant language as well. Flemia and Sanders mention in this article that English still owns the standard of the language used among the largest group of people, especially the internet users, and English also became very dominant in web content as well. Flemia and Sanders further added that the use of English language as the dominant language might suppressing the local language as it will promote certain cultural values while other cultural may be drowning among the society itself. Individuals who speak local and indigenous language stated that they are denied from getting chances from job markets as well as the social acquaintances. The concern regarding the dominance of a universal language over English is progressing pretty well in digital technology, in which even the search engine of Google also has its own limitation of languages that can be accessed. Flemia and Sanders viewed that people or community who came from a low value of cultural power felt a distance between those who came from an English-speaking background in using digital technologies and applying their language on the internet. English would be able to find its place in the world as it has reached a critical mass and the use of English has spread to most populated countries such as China and India. Next, I will talk about the key issues in an article written by Patel et al. Entitled Dominance of English over the Local Languages on Internet. The key issues that should be focused on in this article are why English is the most dominant language over the Internet, how local languages can make their presence, what is the future of languages on the Internet, and what do Internet users want. Unlike Flemia and Sanders, Patel et al. Believe that English is indeed the universal language, but it has no official stance yet and will never have the recognition as such. This is because English language does not fit in the international communication. Patel et al. Said that English language being a common language in the internet as it started as the only language used when the web was created back then. The characteristics of English language is making it replaceable in the future as English is often dynamic and always adapting to the demands of the users. Big organizations are concerned regarding English overpowering presence, may suppressing less popular languages. Last but not least, the key issues from the article, the use of technology in English language learning, a literature review. The issues found are technology becomes an integral part of the learning experience and the usefulness and advantages of technology in improving learners' learning. This article focuses on the learning method used by the teachers and the involving of the internet. Mahdi stated that method is one of the crucial things for language learning to accommodate the process of language learning. Technology has been an essential element for the teaching facilities, and the implementation of technology is said to be able to help learners. Some teachers are having difficulties in adapting to technologies to rely on to facilitate the language learning process, especially English language. According to Mahdi, the incorporation of technology has changed the teaching methods of English language as it has many alternatives in making the class more joyful and productive. fellow classmates and lecturer. This is the end of my presentation regarding the key issues from three different articles or literatures. I will now let Nur Atika to deliver her part as well as to wrap up the session before we jump to question and answer session.
To conclude, with the advancement of technology, the social world of language has extended, allowing language programs or materials and resources to be accessible to learners in geographically remote regions away from their traditional homeland. However, these new domains are not always accessible or available, which leads to the remaining three factors, either economic, environmental, and technological. That's all from us.